Why settle for less when you know you're a queen? Undeniably capable, yeah. Audacious to believe in yourself, yeah. Bold and confident and so ambitious. Fierce, faithful, and you know you're fabulous. You're one of a kind. Don't let nobody tell you any different. And you're so divinely made in His image. Don't you ever forget it. So I settle for less when you know you're a queen.
Hashtag
Masks. Super saved. One of the masks that I've hidden behind, even unintentionally, is being super saved. Because I gave my life to Christ at a young age. And so that's just how people knew me, as Ciante was the saved one. And so with that title, I just didn't always feel free to be transparent or to talk about the issues that I dealt with. And so I wasn't trying to put on the front or fake. I just didn't feel free to really talk about sin issues or negative thoughts and all that kind of stuff growing up. And kind of where I grew up, in our church and everything, I feel like a lot of people didn't feel free to be transparent. So a lot of us weren't talking about the different issues. So a lot of times I felt like I better not tell people this because I'm weird, or they're going to think I'm not really saved or anything like that. So I just grew up feeling like I just better take this to God, or if I was really saved, then I wouldn't be having these issues. So I battled this where people when they looked at me, they assumed I was saved, but on the inside I felt like I wasn't really saved because I was dealing with issues. So it's definitely a mask that I hid behind, was like, well, I'll just let them think that, and maybe they'll be saved and they'll actually make it to heaven, and I just might not, because I'm dealing with these issues and apparently nobody else is dealing with issues. So that was a struggle.
Supermom. This mask is a really, really easy one to kind of hide behind. Every day you're trying to do and be and just be this really awesome mother for your child. I mean, you have the responsibility of raising another man and woman in this world to do hopefully amazing things. And constantly you're always doing this, but I always feel like I fall short of being a great mom, or being there for him, or doing what I need to do in order for him to grow up to be who he needs to be. And you can't really tell people that a lot of times because, one, you feel like people don't understand. You feel like people will think that you are really not doing enough, or that they might condemn you for certain things, for not being, the mom that you should be. Especially like when you're in certain situations, like where you have help. Like I have my parents that help me, even though I'm a single mom. It's just kind of one of those things. Like it's just like, Jaleesa, you don't really have an excuse, so you need to just go on and just be the super mom and be who you're supposed to be. And sometimes I really feel like I can't, but I don't tell people that, and I end up exhausted often. I feel like I'm ready to tear my hair out, and sometimes I even sometimes that's put on my son sometimes, the stress of it all. And so that's one of the masks that I end up wearing all the time, trying to break out of that and know that really God is my strength, and that I can, one, God gave me the responsibility, so he obviously trusts me with this responsibility to raise my child, and so he has given me everything that I need in order to be the mother that I need to be. And that's something that I need to put my hope in, and something that I need to trust God with.
Confidence. This is one that I kind of accidentally wear. People just, I think, assume that I'm confident. A lot of times when it's like one word about Ciante, people will be like confident or bold, and I'm like, where are y'all getting this from? Because I'm not. But I think when I have to step up, I'll do it. When I have to speak, I'll do it. But the whole time before I go on stage, before I have to talk, before I have to do something, before I have to actually step out, I'm afraid. And I feel like I kind of fake this confidence when really I want to be that confident, bold, audacious Ciante. I want to be that woman. And it's kind of just a mask, because yes, when I'm out in front of you, we talk and we laugh and I seem like the boldest, most confident person, but on the inside I'm trembling. On the inside I'm doubting myself. On the inside I'm fearful, and it's something that I really don't want to hide behind that mask anymore. I want the confidence that I exude, you know, when it's like absolutely necessary. I want to be that person. I want to be confident inside, that before I go on stage, I'm like, God, I know we about to do this. Not like, oh God, please don't let me ruin this. Please don't let me, you know, I want to be confident.
Pretty. I have hid behind this mask for a very, very long time. I mean, probably as long as I can remember. I felt like, you know, I have really nice features as far as like the physical part goes about me, and so I really depended on that. I have always wanted to be accepted and wanted to be loved. That's some of our deepest desires that we have, and we really all have them. We just kind of act them out in different ways when we have a deficiency in that. And me relying on me being pretty and all dressed up is something that I heavily depended on. I remember when I was in the 9th grade and I had my first boyfriend, I guess, and I used to go to school because I played basketball, so I used to go to school in sweats and stuff. And I remember him telling me that he doesn't date girls that wear sweats and no makeup. And every day after that, since then, I have worn makeup, I've dressed up, because that's what I felt like got me the love that and acceptance that I so desperately desired. So hiding behind this mask has definitely been, it's been kind of a big hindrance for me, because I haven't had the chance to really know and love myself and felt like just me is enough. And so really just, if I don't have the physical put together, then I'm not going to be wanted by anybody. And it's a very, very terrible mask to be behind, because God loves me the way that I am. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am a beautiful person inside and out, and I truly believe that. And this is something that I've just now stepped in. So taking that mask off.
Purity. Another mask that I sometimes hid behind, an issue that I dealt with, was with me being a virgin. I automatically assumed that meant that I should be pure, or I had a certain idea or you know, definition of what purity was. But here I was, a teenager, a young woman, struggling with lust and struggling with these issues that, one, I didn't know other women dealt with, and then two, I'm a virgin, why am I struggling with this? So I had this, you know, this warped sense of what purity was. For me, purity was all about what I did. And even though I was a virgin, because I had all these other struggles, I felt like my virginity was invalid, that I wasn't pure, that, you know, all these issues. And I had to realize that purity, just like my salvation, just like righteousness, just like grace, it has really nothing to do with me, that it's about, you know, what God has done, and that I have to walk in it in His strength, in His grace, that on my own, it doesn't matter what I do, that I would never be pure, because purity is not just about your actions, it's about a heart. It's a heart condition. So I had this mask of, oh yeah, Ciante's a virgin, so that means, you know, she's good. But really on the inside, I'm like, God, I'm struggling with lust in a big time way. And so it's something that He really has had to change my mind on, and strengthen me in. Because I think a lot of times people assume, because, you know, you're a 30-year-old virgin, that, man, you don't struggle with those issues at all. But it's still very much a mind thing, and especially in this world where we deal with so many images, that it's constantly, you know, like the physical part, okay, anybody can do that by sheer will alone, but the heart part, that's something that we definitely have to have God for. And so it's definitely a mask that I've hid behind, because it's just like, oh yeah, she's a virgin, she doesn't struggle with lust or any type of sexual desire at all, when that is not the case. I just haven't dated that much.
Encourager. I've hid behind the mask of encouragement. I've always been a positive person on the outside, but I've been through several things in life that has really broken me down. It's really torn me apart in several ways to where I didn't really know me, and I can't say that I have accessed that positive aspect of me for me. I can encourage and inspire people all day and make people feel better about themselves at any time. Like it just naturally comes out of me to speak life to people, but when it comes to me, myself, like, I mean, I down talk myself so terribly sometimes. I am very negative to myself. I have a lot of negative self-talk that God has really been trying to heal me from. There are days where I just want to go and hide, really hide, and I'll turn off all my social media and I don't want to talk to anybody, because really I just want to be in my own little pity parties a good portion of the time, and I like wallowing in it. It's just who I am, or who I was, I will say. And so hiding behind the mask of encouragement is I speak life into people all the time, but a good portion of the time feel like I don't really get encouragement spoken to me, and I feel empty a good portion of the time from pouring out so much but not being poured back into. So that's a huge mask that I like to hide behind, because I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I don't want people to think that, you know, they have to do anything for me, and it's kind of a pride issue that God has been working through me. So
as women of God, like, we are not called to hide behind masks. He has never asked us to put on a face, put on the front.
Right.
We don't have to come before him with makeup, you know, with any particular thing to show how beautiful we are. We can come to God raw. We can I just stole that. Anyway, my bad. But we can come to God completely just raw and completely transparent, bringing him the best of us and the worst of us, and he loves us. We don't have to come to him put on our front, because one, is ridiculous, because he already knows about us. But two, if we want to take the mask off, then we have to come being honest to God, admitting what our masks are, admitting what we're struggling with.
Right. A lot of times we wear the mask because if we really think about it, we're really so worried about other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Because God made us who we are.
Right.
He knows our inner workings. He knows every hair on our head. He knows exactly every thought that is going through our minds. He knows when we rise, when we lie down, when we go anywhere. Like,
right.
We're not hiding anything from him.
We're not, so why try?
It's like, really, all I'm wanting you to do, Jalecia, is I want you to just be able to handle these, or hand over these insecurities over to me, so that we can deal with this. But you're so worried. Instead of looking vertically, which is what we're supposed to be doing, we're looking horizontally, like, well, God, these people are probably going to judge me. This person's not going to think as far as me. I think that I'm pretty enough if I'm not doing this, or if I'm not, just giving over, the physical things that people are asking for to be accepted. Yeah. Like, we're
sometimes
so worried
we just don't want to admit it to ourselves.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Even if we're not looking outward, we don't want to admit that this is my struggle, that I'm putting on this front. We want to try to live up to people's standards, or live up to these own fake set standards that we have for ourselves, when God has not called us to that. Like you said, he knows the innermost parts of us, and he still chose us. He still loves us, and he can take these masks and use them to draw other people, because he can free us from them, and then be like, look, I dealt with this too. But we're so like holding on to it that people don't know that they can share. They don't know that they can be transparent. They don't know that they think, oh, she's encouraged, or she's pure, but we don't tell them what's going on behind the mask, so they don't know that they can get free from their mask. Like, it's bigger. Life is bigger than us. These issues are bigger than us, and it's time for us to really just mature enough to give these things, to really trust God with them, and not hide behind these issues anymore, hide behind these facades, and to trust God with them, so that it's not just us being free, so that we're actually going out and being the difference that the world needs to see. Right.
So guys, let's just take off the mask, and let's give all these insecurities, all these things that we really hide behind, and we're trying to fake it till we make it, and do all this other kind. Stop. Let's just stop it. We're gonna take off these masks. As soon as off this big hair, we're gonna take off these masks. We're gonna throw them away.
natural hair problems.
And we're gonna be rid of them.
Yes.
And we're gonna be raw, and we're gonna be real, and we're gonna let God take all this stuff and use it for his glory.
Yes.
So what mask are you hiding behind? Please comment below. If you don't feel free and transparent to comment below, always inbox us, or you can email us at fearlessfaithfulfabulous@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we are more than happy to pray with you, to talk with you, to help you get those masks off, so that God can be able to use you as well.
Yes.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks for watching. See y'all
See ya.
in 2 weeks.
Bye.
You know you're a queen. You're better than that, beautiful and unique. Open up your eyes, baby, know and believe. You were meant to shine supernaturally.